Hi everybody, thanks for joining. Hope everybody is still awake. So Trackimo is a provider of solutions and a platform of IoT devices, usually used for personal safety, tracking, and peace of mind when you need to keep an eye on your children, on your car maybe, on elderly people that might need assistance, and recently even on pets. The devices are mostly small, very easy to use. They have several shapes and sizes. Recently, we also launched a GPS watch that can be used for all of these purposes, including voice communication with the person that needs assistance. In the last few years, we've been approached by several insurance companies that wanted to add additional values to the insurance and services that they provide to their customers. And what I want to show is just one of these solutions that was developed with one of the major insurance companies. So if we can switch to the screen here. Okay. So this solution was developed on top of our standard web platform. And this company provides services for remote assistance for children, healthcare services, and in particular for this prototype of this early project, it was a project for services to schools, children who either in schools or travel abroad to study abroad, and the parents are worried about them. They need to see that they're okay, but at the same time, they're connected to the services of the insurance company that have a call center, which is used for response in any situation where the child is in distress or has some medical issue and needs a remote intervention. So what we did here is on top of our global platform that runs on global cloud services, we added a couple of layers of management so that the insurance company can provide the service in a hierarchical way so that in the call center, which can be also split to several geographical locations, they get a global view of all the devices, but the devices which are carried by the children or by the persons who need assistance are split into several groups. At the lower level, the family, the father of family or mother of family can have the view of the particular devices of their children or other family members. And when there's any situation of distress, the person can click a button that generates an emergency alert, like an SOS. They can also define situations that need to be responded to, like if they go out of a certain geographical safe zone. At that point, the parent or the family members will get an immediate alert and can respond. But at the same time, the levels above them, which could be, for example, the school level, the security officer of the school, can have a view of all these family groups of these devices and respond at their level, but also they can manage the levels below, disable or enable certain services and supports. And at the very top level, which is shown here, the call center agent, again, with several permission levels, can access all the devices of all the customers and respond immediately with direct access to the call center's response procedures. So in that case, one of the devices has triggered an SOS alert. At first, nothing is visible on the map to not create cluttering and enable them to respond, but in here, the agent can control the visibility of the device, and then they can zoom in directly on the location where the alert situation has happened. But at the same time, and I'm showing it in another browser, so this shows only the level, let's say, of this particular school or of this particular group. So the person who is in charge of that particular group can see it on their display and then either respond or report to the call center and decide who takes responsibility for this particular response. Now, in addition to that, at any point, depending on the permission levels and the decision or the contract that decides what sort of information they're allowed to see, they can see the history of this particular device. If something is wrong in the pattern of what where they've been in the last 24 hours and so on. If it's a device that's in a car, they can monitor different telematic information like speed, stops, and so on. And again, this is just a snapshot of this type of solution, and you're more than welcome to come to our booth and discuss how this might help you. And one more thing that we found during this discussion with this company is that by providing a device, which of course is branded with the name of the company, and an app that the family or the people that are involved in these services are actually looking at and are exposed to it sometimes once a day, sometimes once a week, sometimes several times a day, it makes the insurance company less of a vague entity that you don't know or don't really want to know about it unless something bad happens. It's something that you expose to, you interact with, you get information with, and it helps a lot with customer retention. And one more thing is that recently, actually this year, we started a series of launches of this product with major cellular operators like Vodafone in Europe, Telefonica in South America, and we found that there are very good opportunities for user acquisition by providing a joint proposition with the cellular operator and insurance company. For example, you buy the device from Vodafone, but they offer you to join a certain insurance program or service program, and then you get a discount or a rebate for the monthly price and so on. So there are many opportunities about it, and giving the device to the customer and using it as part of the service creates a whole lot of direction that I was exploring. So we're happy to talk, and we're right here at the booth.